Hi makers and bartenders, welcome to the Branding Guide. Simon here. Today we're looking at branding citrus garnishes and how you can elevate your bar or restaurant specialty cocktails by branding the citrus garnish peels with your logo. Come on over to the workbench and let's see some test branding. So today, we're going to test branding some different types of citrus. I've got here a regular navel orange, tangerine, a lemon, Meyer, and a Spanish lime. We're going to be test branding each of these to see how well they take a branded mark and to see what kind of finish each of them has. You know, each of the different fruits has a slightly different texture on the surface. You can see that this tangerine is slightly more smooth than, for instance, this orange that has a little bit more pitting, or something more irregular like these homegrown lemons and limes. Okay, let's start out with the orange. And obviously, I either don't have enough heat or I don't have a long enough dwell time on here because that was a long time and I'm just barely getting a mark. So right now I have the iron heated to a setting of 5 on the temperature control unit. And that's just not hot enough, really. As you can see, this was held for about 1 to 2 seconds initially. And then I held it again for a good 2 to 3 seconds. And now we're just starting to see what we want in terms of the detail of the letters. This is a logo that I designed that has my wife and I's initials, so RSF, and just needs a little bit more heat to make a good mark. Let's turn up the iron, temperature control unit rather, and try again. So I'm going to crank it up 2 settings to a 7, or maybe even just 1 to maybe about 6.5. Okay, I've let the iron heat up for a little bit longer so that we get it heated up 1 extra heat setting to about a 6.5 now. And we're going to try again right next to the mark that we previously made. Make sure that we have the orientation correct. Press, making sure that we get full contact around that circumference, and release. So we definitely have a good amount of heat now. You can see that we're making much better contact and getting a much better mark, but we just need a little bit better timing to resolve those characters, especially in that other part of the S, just to make sure that it's clear in a little bit of the R. So it's not bad. It's actually, you can see that this is actually the most fine amount of detail that you can really get with the stainless steel branding head. I designed this specifically so that our cutter head for stainless steel would get into these areas as tight as possible to really represent the maximum amount of detail that you would be able to put on a citrus garnish brander. Obviously, doing something that is simpler, like a single character or an icon, for example, would be much clearer and be much easier to get a clear image with every brand. Something that has tight amount of details and a lot of text at this small size, this is 0.42 inches diameter, just for reference, obviously is a little bit tougher to get a perfect branded mark every time. Let's keep going. That's not good. That's not bad at all. So now we're really starting to dial it in with the timings and the movements. Part of it is knowledge of how long you need to press. Part of it is muscle memory as well, of testing and remembering the different curves you need to match in order to meet up on something like this. Obviously, marking on a curved surface is a little bit more challenging than marking on something flat because you're having to rock the branding iron to meet this curvature. If I instead just press the branding iron against it and hold it, you'll see that while I am able to make a mark fully, there are portions that aren't as good. That's not bad, though. That might actually be my best one, funny enough. Let's try that again. Maybe my technique is flawed. Maybe I need to rethink how we mark citrus. Yeah, see, as you can see now, maybe there's just too much citrus oil on the head itself. This is why it's really important to have a stainless steel brush to clean the surface off, just to make sure that you're getting full contact every time. Because as you can see, we got great contact around the edges there, but not so much in the middle after we got a really great brand right next to it. So let's try that again. There we go. Okay. That might actually be the best way to go about doing it. Rocking it tends to produce a little bit more variation than what you're really after. By pushing it flat into it, you're really able to achieve some nice crisp detail and to really get that logo to stand out. Let's go ahead and try the Tangerine next. Give it a quick clean. And now I'm going to try to repeat that same technique all the way around the head of the fruit. Obviously held not long enough on that one. But that's getting kind of perfect. So obviously, when you have a logo that's small like this, you can just press it in and you don't have to deal with rocking it back and forth. If I was using the branding guide logo that I've shown marking previously on an orange, then you're going to need to rock it in order to make full contact, rather than something like this that's a circle and that you're able to really just press in every time. That way you get really nice repeatable marks like this. All right, moving on to the lemon. One other aspect of branding citrus that no one really talks about, which I feel is pretty important and actually has a real significance to the intended purpose, especially for bartenders, is that when you're branding this citrus, you really do get an amazing smell that is indicative of the fruit that you're marking. So on lemon, it smells like lemon candy or lemon curd. On oranges, it smells like the richest orange candy you can imagine. And that can really elevate a specialty cocktail, having that additional sensory aspect. And actually, I'm noticing that the different fruits are branding at different rates. The lime, it seems to brand much quicker than the orange was branding, or the lemon for that matter. The lime really seems to brand very, very fast. Obviously, you want to be very careful when you're doing this, considering that you are holding the fruit in close proximity to the heated iron. You really want to make sure that you are on sound footing and that you don't have too many distractions around you.
So as we've seen, you really do want to keep that logo detail to be as simple as possible on a citrus branding iron to allow for the easiest and clearest markings on the garnish of your choice. What food, garnishes, or materials do you want to see tested with a branding iron? Leave your suggestions down in the comments below. Thanks very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.